The educational landscape is ever-changing, and it's important to embrace innovation in the classroom. We cannot run from cell phones, AI, or any future technology. We need to be forward-thinking about ways that we can best teach students and ensure they are getting a high-quality education that will be foundational to their lives. But that starts with ensuring our teachers, professors, and administrators are properly prepared and have the skills to implement these emerging technologies. As you said, Dr. Napier, the human in the loop. Unfortunately, on February 10, 2025, the Trump administration ordered the termination of nearly $1 billion in ongoing federal education research and evaluation efforts at the Institution of Education Sciences and fired an undisclosed number of employees. The IAS is the research arm of the Department of Education. Dr. Del Pilar, in your testimony, you mentioned that the IAS, quote, assists states, schools, and educators with making data-backed decisions, assessing the impacts of various education programs and interventions, and more effectively supporting student learning. Can you share an example of some of the research at the IAS that has helped support teachers and administrators in integrating innovation in their classroom and how that could benefit us as we look forward to AI?
Sorry about that. One of the things that, one of the services that IES has traditionally hosted was the What Works Clearinghouse. It provides significant evidence of evidence-based practices that impact student learning and completion. And I think that that's one of the compendiums that provides educators, researchers, college administrators with significant research on what has been done, what works, and what is effective.
Why should this be done at the federal level?
I think it's easier to collect that type of data at the federal level. It's very expensive to provide to collect that data at the state level, number one. Number two, I think that the Department of Education previously used to bring folks together to really share those evidence-based practices that are working across states for us to have examples of what is working not only in one place but across the country.
I was thinking about that when Dr. Docking said that sometimes businesses and education institutions are not talking to each other. Could you imagine the Herculean task it would be for every state to administer this type of program when AI is moving so quickly? So at the federal level would be the best place to collect this research and data so that even the states that don't have the funding or the resources could access it from the federal government. Without IES, its knowledgeable staff, or the products it publishes, it will be hard for colleges to benchmark their outcomes and ensure that any innovative practice result in actual student success. The 2026 budget released by this administration cut funding for the Teacher Quality Partnership, which is one of numerous programs designed to address affordability and improve retention and completion for students. Back to you, Dr. Del Pilar. Do you believe cutting the funding for TQP or other teaching preparation programs is going to better support the implementation of advanced technologies in the classroom?
No, I think that those type of resources towards states and towards districts, I used to actually administer it for the state of Pennsylvania. It creates innovation in education. It provides evidence of what works in a state and what's possible in terms of partnership and in terms of proving outcomes for students.
Thank you. And as I've said on this committee oftentimes, that while curriculum is decided at the state and local level, teacher preparation and the supports that are involved in making sure that the people who stand in front of our children have the best training and resources available is something that the department and the federal government has historically done.